Namaste, Yoga Revealers. This is Alec Vishal Rouben and Andrew7Sealy coming at you with one of the first episodes of this 2023 new year. Tune in and hear from both of us together on what we are focusing on in this new year while striving forward to create epic projects only meant to excite, inspire, and invite you into the yogic way. If you have not already, please go to yogarevealed.com and click on the 7-day yoga reset to pay what you want and get into our evergreen content program. 7 asana classes, 8 meditations with pranayamas, and this is a perfect way to jumpstart your yoga practice before considering getting into our 100 days of yoga, which is on pre-order. I will see you inside this fun episode with myself and brother Andrew. Namaste.
Namaste, yogis. An absolutely beautiful day coming live from Costa Rica here with my beautiful, blessed brethren, Alec Vishal Rouben.
Live from Boulder, Colorado.
Woo! All the way across the world. Here we go. How are you yoga revealers feeling out there? You feeling the energy? You feeling this new year?
2023, baby. We out here. We've been out here 6 years strong.
Coming through, happy and free, keeping the yoga true to the heart to infinity.
Oh, those rhymes are so good.
Yeah, man. How's life been? How's Colorado been treating you?
Colorado's good. It's freezing. We're getting those normal scheduled creek polar plunges in. Because if you don't know, now you know, but you probably do know, that Wim Hof energy is alive out more than it ever has been, and getting in that cold therapy and also getting in that sunshine therapy, 300 days of sunshine, which you also know about in Costa Rica with the rain.
You know it. Get that vitamin D in your skin. Yeah, you got to get outside and make sure to get some sunshine. One of the best ways to get your serotonin and your dopamine levels on point. And just keep that yoga flowing no matter where you are in the world. Know that the yoga practice continues. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're here today, to really jump into Yoga Revealed for 2023.
Yes.
First episode of 2023. Feeling really, really stoked to bring you all some really incredible, great news. Also really, really excited about just some absolutely next level festivals that we'll be teaching at, and some absolutely next level offerings that we have to share with you all, because we're living in the technology age, and we got to be able to share across these digital platforms. So we're so excited. But I just wanted to start with just a little bit of grounding and just like really starting what we're grateful for, what things we learned in 2022 that we can then apply into 2023. So I just want to start with you, Alec, and just ask, what are you grateful for right now? What is present in your life that you're just like, oh, so grateful for? And then a lesson that you've learned from 2022 that you're bringing into 2023.
Yeah, it's a profound question. And I think that is the number one thing that grounds us in is gratitude. I have this journal, and it's a 3-year memory book, and it was gifted to me in April of, I believe, last year. And there's on each page, there's 3 little segments for 3 years worth of daily gratitude. I got it in April, but I didn't really start it till June. And I swear, the moment that I really started to make it a practice in writing gratitude down each day, and it's not to say that we don't have these human journeys where it's a hard day, or maybe there's some kind of emotional affliction moving through my heart or my mind, when I give my energy to gratitude, it makes the affliction 10 times less intense, less afflicting. And that's the point, right? So I'll just share that. And as I was looking through my morning gratitude today, I just felt that within 2022, most of what I've wanted in my life since maybe 2017, 5 years ago, I kind of have it. I have a lot of what I wanted in 2017 now. And it's interesting because now I want things that maybe I don't have yet. And so in that state, I always remind myself, wow, I have so much of what I've wanted in my life. And in really the things that I do have that I'm grateful for are easy to take for granted. I have my health. Got a little bit of congestion today, but that'll be gone in a day or two. And I got my health, and I've got a beautiful, beloved partner who we'll talk about in a little bit. I got a beautiful dog. I've got a business that's moving with my organic superfoods with Purium. I've got yoga revealed with you. I've got friendship. I got this new fresh hoodie. It's cool. I'm stoked about it. You know, I've got tea. I've got everything I need, you know, and that's really the key is what I'm grateful for is I have everything that I know that I need on a soul nourishing level. My ego wants to tell me differently.
Yeah. Truth indeed. That's a really beautiful way of putting it. It's like, you know, the necessities are already met. And now it's like, once the necessities are met, we can really come from that space of feeling fulfilled and then allow our cup to overflow into all the other things that perhaps we desire to be able to serve others and raise the vibration higher. So super stoked to hear about that.
What about you? Reflecting back to you. What are you grateful for?
Yeah, totally. I'm feeling, honestly, I'm grateful right now, so much so for the incredible community that I have here in Costa Rica. We are soon approaching Envision Festival, which is where we first met in 2016?
2015.
2015? Damn. Woo. Long time ago in a land far away. And, you know, just having the opportunity to reconnect with that community is going to be absolutely next level. Teaching there is wonderful, but even more so than that, just having the opportunity to be in a space where, you know, all the creatives that I enjoy and am inspired by are going to be able to share their gifts. And I feel like it's such a magical space to have the opportunity to be able to share and to be able to witness how other people are amplifying the world in their own way. And so I'm really stoked about, like, you know, Charles Eisenstein, who's like one of the most incredible thought leaders in the Consilience Project. Consilience Project is a project where they're really creating solutions for some of the world's biggest problems, like waste and, you know, pollution and like the paperclip maximizer and artificial intelligence, and like how we're going to actually move forward in a way that is regenerative for this earth and allows us to be able to create a sense of coherence as to how we're doing it in a way that realizes that, you know, as technology advances, humans also have to advance in our ways to communicate and our ways to really be creative as individuals, but also as a collective of conscious individuals who are coming together to share these ideas so that we can really proliferate humankind. Because, you know, we're on the cutting edge of technology where artificial intelligence is literally taking the world by storm. And what that means is, like, you know, like there's now artificial intelligence that can do all kinds of things. And yeah, we don't want to become obsolete as humans. We want to still be able to be of service to one another and also to this earth and to this world. So I'm grateful for really living in this time of unbound possibility. I'm grateful for living in a space that allows people to come back to nature. Like, you know, I've got toucans in a tree over there, and, you know, Sally and Samuel hang out every now and then, and the sloths that hang out in my front yard. And I have quiet space. It's like, you know, like to go from the hustle and bustle of teaching to now, yes, quiet space. So yeah, those are some things that I'm thankful for.
I love it.
Yeah, I wanted to pass it on to you for a lesson that you learned in 2022 that you are integrating into the beauty of your 2023.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting having strong dreams and high level affirmations of what I want to create in my own life. Sometimes in the past, I've noticed that I wouldn't move as fast towards those dreams than I thought I could. And so it kind of meant for me slowing down a little bit, but not meaning that I didn't make steps towards my goal. Meaning to say, small steps towards my goal are sometimes bigger than taking massive leaps towards something without having the actual time or skill to integrate it for myself. And so I didn't make as far of leaps as I wanted in 2022. And I eventually found myself giving myself grace that that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that sometimes it's just okay to take small steps and have small wins. And that, for me, recognizing that was a big key. It was a really big key in continuing to feel motivated towards moving forward. I didn't hit all my goals, but I did hit some monumental goals for myself. And that was enough, where I feel like what I had just said, like, I don't have all the things that I want in my life, but 5 years ago, I do have majority of the things that I wanted then now. And it's the same kind of concept, right? Am I willing to just meet myself where I'm at and not necessarily leave myself there and then help myself get to the next level one step at a time, rather than having to fly with my head cut off, So I feel like that
flying with your head cut off.
I know. And if you know me, sometimes I go fast. And so that, for me, having that awareness in 2022, I feel like was pretty monumental for me. And my yoga practice and my meditation practice absolutely has supported me in meeting myself where I'm at. Most of us don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful. Like constantly, like, coming back to that realization that, like, slow down, take the big picture into reference, and, allow yourself to really take that reflection as a means to reevaluate what it is that is your goal and how you can make it even more feasible.
I agree. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And what about you? What did 2022 teach you?
Wow. 2022 taught me patience. Really realizing that, all of these seeds that we're planting, they take time to germinate. They take time to actually grow, and then they take time to blossom, and then they take time for that fruit to ripen. And a lot of times, we think of like, oh, like, we're going to plant this seed and then bam, it's going to be like, making money. It's going to be the most incredible thing. It's going to be, giving me all the happiness that I ever wanted. Or, it could be that you plant a seed of finding a beloved, and like, like that person comes into your life, but, we're not married, or, we haven't started popping out children yet, like there's time that takes for those seeds to actually germinate. And so all of the relationships, all of the incredible partnerships, all of the wonderful content and products and all these things, like they all take time to get to the point where they're flowing into a space of being able to actually reap the value of that effort and that intention and that love and that work that has gone into making them. And so, yeah, last year really taught me about patience, and this year is teaching me about really attuning the team so that the team is strong and everyone feels felt and fully heard and fully aligned in their offerings, so that we can all move forward with even more effective efficiency and what I would just call pure alignment.
I love it. Amazing. Nice. And we made a pretty monumental decision in 2022. And for the first time, you and I decided to actually do something with our platform of Yoga Revealed, and 400,000 downloads and listeners all across the world, which I know you get a ton of love for, and I get a ton of love for in person on Instagram. And I had just came back not too long ago from visiting you with my beloved, which was so cool. You brought you saw the vision, you saw Annie, and you invited Annie into the Yoga Revealed flow. And we just visited you for, I think we were there for like 2.5 weeks. And it was the first time me being back there since a couple years, like several years ago, from my second Envision music festival. And so it was so special to return there. And, the Love Life sign had just been returned to me, which is really what helped us meet. And we created some pretty epic content that a couple hundred people have currently dove into. And so 7-day yoga reset, baby.
7-day yoga reset is live. And it's so beautiful that we've already had so many epic human beings decide to jump onto this 7-day yoga reset and really reset their thought process, their practice, their meditation, and that sense of actually being in a space of practicing on the daily. And I feel that, just in the feedback that we've received thus far, like people are stoked on it. And I'm so excited to be sharing this with our platform because, Yoga Revealed is a wonderful community of awesome yogis. Each and every one of you out there is so incredible in being able to not only attune yourself, but in sharing that light, that sense of vibrancy with the world. Each and every one of us is a beacon of light. And so, if we have the opportunity to be able to enhance your experience of yoga, then many blessings. So excited to have the opportunity to do that. And 7 days of doing it is just like, woo, let's go. And not only that, but now we have a female voice in the Yoga Revealed crew, which feels really, really good because for so long it's just been me and you, Alec, and now having Annie as our wonderful third counterpart, I feel like the trifecta is just even more powerful. And it feels good to have that female essence in the flow.
It does. Especially Annie. She feels like more of a yogi than I do at times. And she's just so divine in how she embodies the bhakti, the bhav, the medicine of devotional servitude to not only the classes that she teaches, but really her energy of chanting and the harmonium. And I mean, she chants a Hanuman Chalisa almost on the daily. And it's so funny because there's so many shlokas or lines or words in that. I don't even know it. It's so long. And that is something that was the moment that I fell in love with her. She came over and we've been friends for 11 years. And she came over during COVID 2020. I hit her up and got her out of her house. She came and hung out with me. We had tea inspired by Andrew7Sealy because Andrew's always drinking tea. And I already know that's a way to a woman's heart is drinking tea and meditating, practicing yoga. That's right. We both got our tea right now from the secret tea garden. It's organic and non-GMO. And she chanted a Chalisa. And right then I was just like, oh my God, this is my person. This is amazing. And so, yes, it is really special to have you teaching your flow, me teaching my style, and Annie bringing her uniqueness into this trifecta. And I feel like it balances all of our styles together in a really wholesome and empowered way, from anatomy to understanding of the postures and the alignment that each person and pose should be in, with the understanding of deities and the nature of these deities. I mean, just this morning we were on a walk with Moose, and he was like, do you know how the moon got her phases in accordance to Ganesha? And I was like, no, I've never heard this story. And it was so profound. Should I try to tell it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'll try. I think I remember. So
we gotta have Annie on the podcast. Actually, we gotta definitely have an episode with Annie.
I know. We'll make it happen. So essentially, Ganesh is coming back from this party and he's drunk on sweets. And as he's returning from this party, he's stumbling home in this blissful state. He's kind of high on sugar and sweets. And then he sees on the ground a cobra that kind of like scares him and surprises him, which is the archetype of Shiva, right? And so he falls on his back, and then all of his sweets go everywhere. They just like explode out of his belly. And Chandra, the moon, laughs at him, and Ganesh feels kind of humiliated and shy. And in the moon's radiance and its fullness, Ganesh cursed the moon and said, "You will now only be in your full radiance once a month. and you will have to grow into and out of your full radiance once a month. Every other day you'll be growing. You will never be able to just be 30 days full, 365 days a year, only once a day. And it was just so funny. I don't even know that. I have no idea. She has such a wealth of Hindu deity knowledge. And so you get to experience that in the 7-day yoga reset and in the 100 days of yoga, which is pretty cool.
We didn't even tell them about the 100 days of yoga.
I know. I just dripped it. What do you want to say about the 100 days of yoga?
Yes, yoga revealers, we have 100 days of yoga coming up, soon to be launched. But first you got to get the 7 days, because the 7 days is like the intro awareness to what we're building, which is a space and a community that is consistent in our practice. Because the things that have brought us, that means me, Alec, Annie, to the space of being able to be prolific yogis, who have beautiful homes and have the opportunity to be able to share space with others and have the opportunity of traveling the world and have the opportunity of sharing the wealth of wisdom that brings us to where we are today, is because we practice yoga every single day. So that's why we're offering it, 100 days of yoga. And it's soon to be released. We're thinking early spring, so that you guys can jump right into that, springing forth into that new abundance, springing forth into that sense of not only feeling supported in your community, but also feeling inspired to uplift your practice to the next level.
And so, it's interesting. There's certain things that the internet teaches me, right? And there's certain things that I have to cultivate a discipline over. And I think we all have the need to cultivate more of a discipline on less scrolling, right? And I will say this. There's one thing that I see, it's like social media in yoga. You might see, our listeners, you might see someone like Andrew doing his handstands, me doing back bends, your favorite yoga Instagram person doing what they're doing. And I would actually dare say it's not that you want. You actually want what you think it feels like for them to be in that state. And there's only one way to get there. It's not just doing handstands or doing back bends. It's actually devoting yourself to something consistently. And it starts with day one. And that's why the 7-day yoga reset, you get 7 days of yoga classes and 8 meditations. There's a bonus 8th-day meditation, which is a beautiful, beautiful sunset Costa Rica video. And that funnels into the 100 days of yoga. So that, and you know what the coolest part is, Andrew? The 7-day yoga reset is pay what you want. It's SEVA. It is truly serve. You could put $1 in there. We're cool. We want you to experience this. And that's the beauty of it. This is from our hearts to yours.
Yeah. And I think that is huge too, because essentially, like, a lot of us, I know that when I was first starting out yoga, I could only do the 30 days for $30 at the yoga studio, because that is what I could afford as a college student. And I know that, right now, a lot of economies in the country are just not looking so hot. And I also know that a lot of yoga studios are closing due to COVID and due to lack of attendance. And so the most important thing for us as a community of yoga revealers is to be able to support each other. And that's why we did it as an option that you could literally donate 1 cent if you wanted. And, it's totally up to us to be able to empower each other in being able to continue to raise the vibration, no matter what our financial situation is. And so that's why we have done this, because we feel that it's important to be able to empower you with the steps and the tools needed to be able to advance, but also to make it accessible. And so that's why the 7-day yoga reset is available at a wonderful price of SEVA, which means that you can donate what feels good for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about, is,
some people really put in $1. We suggest $7, $1 of yoga a day. And you got to keep this content for life. Some people even put in $20, $50, $100. It's amazing. how generous our community of yogis is all across the world.
Yeah. 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 So I wanted to ask you, what is like the thing that's lighting you up right now, Alec? Like what is in the yoga world? Because I want to keep it like, like concise to the space of yoga and like yoga revealed. Like, are you learning anything new? Is there anything that's popping up for you this year that you're just like, woof, I'm stoked to dive deeper into this? What is exciting you in the yoga sphere?
Yeah, I'm gonna go full circle with this because I don't want to start off grim, but here's what I'll say is there's two people in my life right now that are both incredibly spiritual and are teachers of myself, that are teachers of mine. One is a tea teacher and one is my actual yoga teacher. And both of them are not in the best health possible. And we'll just say cancer sucks, right? Mm-hmm. Cancer sucks. And so this is one of the first calendar years where early in the year, I don't know if I'm going to study yoga with my teachers in person due to health issues, and them maybe not showing up for that right now, which I think is important for all of us to know that the dial can turn. And if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't put the right foods in our body, if we don't stop putting the wrong foods in our body can react. And, I have gratitude again for my health. And so I don't know if I'm going to make it this year to Maui to study yoga with my teachers on the time that they're offering. The timing isn't congruent, and there's challenge there. It's the first time in 10 years I've taken 10 teacher trainings once a year for 10 years. And that hits me on my heart. And I also know that the inverse of that is you, me, and Annie offering a yoga revealed retreat towards the end of this year, which is embodying these 10 years and actually putting it forth right into the service of giving back in a new way to transmit that divine wisdom of student, teacher to new student. You feel me? So that's what's lighting me up because, every morning I look down at I sit in front of my altar. I'm looking at it currently and I say, good morning, Patanjali, good morning, Hanuman, good morning, Shiva, good morning, Lakshmi, good morning, Ganesh, good morning, Krishna. And I make my prayers to these deities. And, I wouldn't consider myself a Hindu. And I also am Indian. And my blood is of India. And I don't feel like I'm a religious person, yet having that prayer, even for 5 to 20 minutes in front of my altar on a daily basis, that's what lights me up right now. I feel blessed that I feel called to be in that prayerful space because it didn't used to be like that for me. It really didn't. I used to be someone who was full on atheist and full on agnostic and very pessimistic and very negative. And it's not to say that I don't interface with negativity in my life because I do, but I have tools on how to interface with it and not let it run me, which is a mindset and a skill set that is cultivated over periods, and I mean like long periods of time. There's a yoga sutra, I forget what it is in Sanskrit, but it essentially says, if you think you know, go back to the drawing board and keep practicing. And then there's another one that austerity in this practice, like authentic results of this practice is only seen over long periods of time that are uninterrupted. And only then will we see the results of the yoga working.
Yep. The sustained, consistent practice.
Yes.
Constant observation of the self, the svadhyaya.
Yeah. So that's what's lighting me up right now.
That's what's up, man. That's so beautiful. And I'm stoked because you mentioned a retreat, and that has actually been one of my little projects this month, is finding the most epic spot for us to lead the most epic Yoga Revealed retreat. Let's go.
It'll be so good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited about it. And I'm super stoked to have the opportunity to offer an experience for this community, because this community has just been absolutely next level in the way that it's grown, absolutely next level in the way that people continue to show up and just send the most beautiful emails and the most kind, messages on Instagram. And it's just like this community needs to be able to meet in person. Like, how epic is it going to be to practice with people who have listened to this podcast for the last, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe even some people who just found the podcast for the first time. Like, awesome. I'm super stoked to invite, whoever is ready to tap into that practice on a day-to-day consistency in person, because we have the online offering. And I'm so stoked, even more so, to be able to hear people what they thought about going from 100 days of yoga online and then having the opportunity of tuning in person. So yeah, I feel that I'm most excited about that this year, because a Yoga Revealed teacher training is going to be soon in the books as well. But I think that the retreat first has to come.
I agree.
And then we'll do a teacher training. And there's so much magic to come, and just to have the opportunity to incorporate Annie into that magic as well, so that she can be able to share her beauty and her brilliance and her complete exquisitry and all of the different wonderful, philosophy of yoga. I'm so stoked to have her on the team. And I think that's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about yoga wise. I'm also going to India. I'm going to Rishikesh.
Wow. And you've been there before, right?
I've never been to Rishikesh. I went to Varanasi.
Wow.
So I'm excited for a little cold snap therapy, get my little Rishikesh mountaintop on.
I'll tell you this real quick. In May of 2022, I went to India with my mom and my nani and my aunt and my cousin to put my grandfather, my Nanaji's, his ashes in the Ganga. And on the day that we were in Haridwar, which translates to gateway to God, there's one date on the calendar year where all Indians of India, they flock to the Ganga, because there's this one calendar year that changes each year. It depends on some astrological alignment of the planets, where it's said, the myth is that the Ganges is 100 times potent. Getting in the Ganges on that day is as if you got in the Ganges every day for a year. And so it was crowded. But it was epic. So I'm very excited for you to get in that Rishikesh cold therapy, blessed spirit water. That's amazing. And, even as you were just saying on what's lighting you up, Andrew, I'd like you to talk a little more about this, because this is something that you and I both share, is yoga teacher education, meaning we both know amazing yogis. And we also both know, in that same category, amazing yogis who maybe haven't had as much education as they could have, and some who excel in education because they continue to seek out educators and facilitators who have done the work. And you and I were just briefly talking about this at a hotel, which we won't name any names because we love all of our friends and families all across the yogic world. And I think there's it comes down to the word tapas. It comes down to the word svadhyaya, and it's doing that work. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, definitely. It really comes down to the realization that we can only speak from a space of experience. And experience comes from really putting in the work. And what that means is, going to practice with those who have put in their work, put in their time. And so I'm headed to Rishikesh to do a 300-hour yoga teacher training with a great friend of mine. Her name is Talia Sutra. And she's doing a training where she's bringing in a Sanskrit doctor from India who's, literally versed in all of the Sanskrit pronunciation, which I'm very much fascinated with, because the way that we speak is the language that allows us to be able to articulate the feelings that we have. And yoga gives me one of the most incredible feelings ever. So to be able to articulate myself in a way that actually matches the vibration of this ancient art is very powerful to me. So I'm going to learn how to speak Sanskrit even more eloquently. In addition to that, she's also having this wonderful, her name's Erin Body Aware, and she is a acupuncture genius and also someone who has studied the meridians of the body. And so she takes this Eastern philosophy of, Chinese medicine, meridian work, and she bridges the gap between that and the ancient philosophy of the nadis, which are these wonderful channels of energy throughout the body. And so I'm really excited to be learning from both of them. And on top of that, Talia Sutra, who's one of the most incredible backbending teachers that I've ever had the opportunity of practicing with. And so I really am ready to open my heart even more. And I'm so excited to explore the beauty of India and to just be fully immersed in that space and to have a little bit of cold therapy as well. I've been here in Costa Rica all winter, except for a quick little trip that I had that was in Nepal, which was incredible as well. That was a little bit of cold snap, but a month is way more than 2 weeks. So I'm ready for it. And I feel that the more that we can educate ourselves, the more that we can really come from that space of experience, because when we embody that knowledge, that's when the true power of the knowledge can shine. And that's why, people continue to come to the classes of the wise ones, no matter where they teach, and that's why we're blessed with awesome human beings who are willing to come on these journeys and these trips and these retreats and these workshops. And, we're still teaching at, wonderful places like the Drishti beats and all this kind of stuff because of the knowledge that we share and the attractive nature of what we're able to offer. And so I think it comes from that sense of being able to embody the knowledge, the wisdom, and being able to translate it in a way that is still accessible, and also it's new, it's fresh, it's continuously evolving as yoga is continuously evolving. And so we have to continue to evolve, and we have to continue to embody that knowledge so that we can really give it our own beauty, our own resonance, our own sense of individuality that makes it that much more attractive to the people who are excited about learning with us. So yoga teachers out there, keep learning, keep sharing from your heart, keep embodying the beauty of the wisdom.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited that you're going to India with Talia Sutra and you're going to take another 300. That's so exciting. And I know that Envision's coming up. You're teaching there. Drishti's coming up in June. I know I'll be there. I'm sure you'll be there. It'll be so epic. It's going to be so fun. What else is flowing on your end?
That's about it. Right now, there's a lot flowing, but that's all that I'm really stoked on and focused on right now. We could dig deeper, but I feel that's for another episode.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Super excited, and really excited, I think, for the next episode that we have with Annie, so that we can really talk about the 100 days of yoga even more. And, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of something special. And, there's a lot of cool things that I'm working on. Another thing that, just popped into my head is certified, which is super epic because it's going to empower yogis to be able to take online yoga teacher trainings directly from their iPhone. And that's a great project that I'm working on with my great friend, Skylar Maximilian. He's wonderful, out of Miami, and Mike, who's the epic app maker and developer. And that's something that I'm excited to get Yoga Revealed on too, because we have the availability to be able to create online teacher training so that people can actually get certified through the wonderful power of technology. So many epic things to come. I'm just going to stop talking now though, because otherwise we'll be here all day.
Love it. I love it. And I think that a good way to end is also in gratitude by giving gratitude to Ike. Ike is our film producer, and he's put all this amazing energy into the 7-day yoga reset. He got it out of the gates, and we're working on these 100 days of yoga. And I will say, just a little more depth on the 100 days of yoga. We've got asana, we've got pranayama and breath work, we got meditations and visualizations, lectures. I mean, from breaking things down to learning how to excel in your yoga practice so you can feel confident in a class that is maybe moving faster than what you're normal to, and then also learning how to fly. Learn how to take care of your own practice. Learn how to take care of your body. There's so many concepts to the 100 days of yoga. And again, if you haven't gotten into it, get into the 7-day yoga reset, pay what you want. And then in the back office of the course on the 7-day yoga reset, there's a pre-order now button for 100 days of yoga. And it is the cheapest that you could get it. There's 3 different payment structures, all in full, monthly for 3 months, or even weekly for 15 weeks. It's pretty awesome. So I'm excited about that. I know you are too, Andrew, and so excited for all the amazing tech that is coming out in the world to allow us to connect with people all over the world through the lens of yoga.
Yeah. Blessings, yoga revealers. So excited for this year. Happy 2023 to you all. May you continue to be happy and free in your heart, your mind, and your spirit, and know that we are in this together. And thank you for tuning in yet again. This is what we're here for. Thank you, Alec, for jumping in. Thank you for being the incredible partner, brethren, brilliant being, brilliant, incredible yogi that you are. And may we all continue to uplift and shine as we are all brilliant stars. Namaste.
Namaste. Blessings. Thank you, Yoga Revealers. If you enjoyed listening to this conversation with myself and Brother Andrew, please share it on social media and tag both of us at Alec Love Life Yoga and Andrew7Sealy and Yoga Revealed. Be sure to enroll into the 7-day yoga reset. It is full on SEVA. That is service. Pay what you want, even if it's just $1. Jumpstart your practice because the world needs you to practice more than ever. And look out for us at Envision Music Festival and Drishti Beats Festival this summer, along with staying in touch with our content for an end of the year retreat hosted by Andrew, myself, and Miss Annie Coyle. See you on the yogi side, my friends. Peace and namaste.